Welcome to week 2 of NEXUS-SEMICON, the Semiconductor Career Code. Last week, we started with the most important element in your career journey, you. We asked you to know yourself, your interests, strengths, curiosity, capabilities, values, and aspirations. But self awareness is only the beginning. To build a meaningful semiconductor career, you must also understand the industry you want to enter. That is our focus this week. Know the industry. Imagine arriving at a large airport without knowing your destination, terminal, airline, or gate. You may be capable of making the journey, but you don't know where to go. Your career is much the same. Technical skills are important, but direction creates leverage. If you want a semiconductor career, you need to understand where the industry is going, who the major players are, what technologies are emerging, and where your own capabilities can create value. Here is one of the most important ideas I want you to remember. A semiconductor does not simply begin in a factory and end inside a computer. It is part of a much larger ecosystem. It starts with research and discovery. It depends on materials and chemicals. It requires sophisticated manufacturing equipment. Engineers design chips using powerful software and EDA tools. Those designs become physical devices through wafer manufacturing. The devices are then packaged and tested. Finally, they become part of electronics, vehicles, communication systems, industrial equipment, healthcare technologies, and many other applications. And around all of this is a growing ecosystem of data, services, software, and circular manufacturing. Why should you understand this value chain? Because every stage creates careers. Materials create opportunities for scientists and engineers. Equipment creates opportunities for mechanical, electrical, automation, and manufacturing professionals. Chip design creates opportunities for electrical, computer, and semiconductor engineers. EDA creates opportunities at the intersection of software, mathematics, and semiconductor design. Fabrication requires expertise in physics, chemistry, engineering, process control, and data. Packaging and testing require another set of highly specialized capabilities. And system integration connects semiconductors with the real world. Another important lesson: do not define the semiconductor industry only by chip manufacturers. There are different business models. There are IDMs that integrate design and manufacturing. There are fabless companies that design chips and outsource fabrication. There are foundries that manufacture chips for others. There are OSAT companies specializing in assembly and testing. There are equipment companies building the machines that make semiconductors. There are materials companies supplying wafers, chemicals, gases, and substrates. There are EDA companies providing the software used to design and verify chips. And there are semiconductor IP companies developing reusable technology blocks. So, when you explore your career, look across the entire ecosystem. Now, look beyond the semiconductor industry itself. Where are semiconductors being used? Artificial intelligence, electric vehicles and automotive systems, telecommunications, consumer electronics, industrial automation, aerospace and defense, healthcare, energy, the Internet of Things, and emerging areas such as quantum technologies. This is why semiconductor careers are so powerful. You are not simply working with a chip, you are helping enable the technologies that shape modern society. And the industry is changing rapidly. Artificial intelligence is creating demand for specialized computing. Silicon carbide and gallium nitride are transforming power electronics. Chiplets and advanced packaging are changing how complex systems are built. Edge computing is moving intelligence closer to devices. Photonics is bringing optical technologies into communications and computing, and artificial intelligence itself is being used to improve semiconductor design, manufacturing, inspection, and yield. India is entering an important phase in semiconductor development, and the opportunity is much larger than simply building fabrication plants. India can participate in semiconductor design, EDA, embedded systems, equipment engineering, materials, wafer manufacturing, compound semiconductors, power electronics, packaging, testing, automation, software, AI hardware, and workforce development. And this creates opportunities for a very diverse workforce: engineers, technicians, software professionals, project managers, quality professionals, supply chain specialists, business professionals, educators, and entrepreneurs. Remember this: your semiconductor career does not have to be linear. A process engineer can become a yield engineer, then a manufacturing leader. An electrical engineer can move from testing into product engineering and eventually product management. A software engineer can move into EDA, AI, hardware, or semiconductor technology leadership. A materials engineer can specialize in silicon carbide and eventually become an entrepreneur. Your first job does not define your final identity. Your career is a system that evolves. So, here is your week 2 challenge. Create your own semiconductor industry map. Identify the major areas: materials, equipment, design, EDA, intellectual property, wafer fabrication, packaging, testing, systems, applications, software and AI, supply chain, research, and workforce development. Then identify companies, technologies, and career opportunities in each area. Now ask yourself two questions: which part of the semiconductor ecosystem excites me the most, and which part needs the skills I am developing? The intersection of those two answers may be where your career opportunity begins. Before you complete week 2, make sure you can answer 5 questions. 1. What is the semiconductor value chain? 2. What are the major semiconductor technologies? 3. Who are the major players and what role does each play? 4. What technologies are likely to create the next generation of opportunities? And 5. Where do my interests and capabilities fit within this ecosystem? For your week 2 career challenge, choose 3 semiconductor sectors that interest you. For each one, research what it does, why it matters, the technologies it uses, major companies, required skills, career opportunities, and emerging technologies. Look at both India and the global market. Then choose one sector and complete this sentence: why I could build my semiconductor career here. This is your first serious career positioning exercise in the Nexus Semicon journey. Don't think I need to learn everything about semiconductors. Instead, think I need to understand the map before choosing my route. You don't need to become an expert in every technology. You need to understand what exists, how it connects, where it is going, where opportunities are emerging, and where you can contribute. That is industry awareness. And industry awareness is one of the foundations of career intelligence. In week 1, you looked inward. In week 2, you looked outward. And now we are ready for the next step. Next week, we turn our attention to one of the most important questions in your career. What skills does the semiconductor industry actually value? And how prepared am I? We will explore technical skills, engineering fundamentals, digital capabilities, software, data and AI, communication, problem solving, project management, business understanding, and leadership. And you will perform your own skills gap analysis. You will build a personal semiconductor skills matrix: current, required, gap, action. The objective is simple: know where you are, know where the industry needs you to be, and build the bridge between the two. The semiconductor revolution will not be built by technology alone. It will be built by people who understand technology, understand the industry, develop the right skills, and have the courage to create. That is why Nexus Semicon is a 52-week journey. 1 week, one capability, one step at a time. 52 weeks, one career, a lifetime of impact. I am Chancellor Baljit Singh. I invite you to continue this journey with us. Complete your Week 2 industry map. Discover where you belong in the semiconductor ecosystem. And join me next week for Week 3 Know Your Skills. Because your future begins when you understand not only where the industry is going, but also what you can bring to it.